Hello, my name is Rajeka Lazarus and I'm a consultant in infectious diseases and microbiology, and I am the chief investigator of the ComFluCOV study. Thank you for your interest in the study to assess the responses to COVID-19 vaccine given alongside influenza vaccine. This presentation outlines the study, including the nature of the vaccines, what will be expected of you if you were to take part, and the risks and benefits. This doesn't replace the need to read the participant information leaflet or the consent form, and you should read through those carefully before deciding whether or not to take part. You will also have the opportunity to ask any questions that you may have with the study doctor or nurse who will be asking for your consent to participate in the study. Importantly, we ask you not to proceed if you are acutely unwell and you have any symptoms such as fever, cough, or a change in your smell or taste. It's important to remember that taking part in this study is completely voluntary and you can change your mind at any point. If you do decide to withdraw from the study, then this will not affect your standard medical care. This study is being sponsored by the University Hospitals Bristol and Western NHS Foundation Trust and will be delivered by a network of NHS hospitals in the South West. The study will be coordinated by the Bristol Trial Centre at the University of Bristol. The study is being funded by the Vaccines Task Force and the National Institute of Health Research, which is a government-funded research agency. The COVID-19 pandemic started in China in October 2019, and so far over 1.4 million people have died globally. Vaccines are an important way of controlling pandemics, and the global community have stepped up efforts to develop vaccines. The current recommendation is that all adults in the UK receive 2 doses of a COVID-19 vaccine. The rates of COVID-19 infection have decreased due to lockdown measures and mass vaccination, but it is unknown what will happen to infection rates in the future. It may be that we see further waves of infection in the autumn. Therefore, some people may receive further doses of the COVID-19 vaccination or booster doses. It is likely that these booster doses will need to be delivered at the same time as influenza vaccination doses. The purpose of this study is to see whether COVID-19 and influenza vaccines can be given at the same appointment safely. This will make it easier for people to receive their vaccines and reduce the burden on the NHS. We will be looking to see how common vaccine reactions such as fever and fatigue are after having both vaccines on the same day. We will also be looking at the body's immune response to having COVID-19 and influenza vaccines on the same day by sampling blood and asking you to provide saliva samples. We will investigate the effects on the immune system by randomly allocating participants to receive the influenza vaccine alongside the COVID-19 vaccine or 3 weeks later. Neither you or your doctor will be able to choose which order you receive the vaccines. In order to reduce any bias in reporting side effects, you will not be told whether you get the influenza vaccine or the placebo, a saline solution, either at your first or second visit. The Chaddox COVID-19 vaccine is commonly known as the Oxford vaccine. It has been tested in more than 20,000 people worldwide as part of the COVID-19 vaccines. It has been found to be both safe and effective in preventing COVID-19. The Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine is commonly known as the Pfizer vaccine. This vaccine has been tested in more than 40,000 people worldwide and has been to be effective and safe. Both these vaccines use genetic material from the SARS-CoV virus to stimulate protective immune response. The vaccines do not contain any live coronavirus, so it cannot cause COVID-19 infection. There are 2 types of flu vaccines that we'll be using in the study. The Fluad vaccine is given to adults aged 65 and over and contains 3 influenza strains from the UK 2020 to 2021 influenza season. This vaccine is made by making the virus non-infectious using a chemical process. The key parts of the virus that our bodies recognise are then purified and made into a vaccine. The immune system sees the vaccine components and makes a protective immune reaction against influenza that will protect us in the future. ComFluCOV is another non-infectious viral vaccine like FluAd, but it's recommended for adults aged under 65 and is given to healthcare workers and others who are at increased risk of severe influenza infection. This vaccine contains 4 of the recommended influenza strains. Again, the immune system sees the vaccine components and generates an immune response. The vaccine schedule is shown on the screen. At the first visit, you will get a vaccine in each arm. One will be a COVID-19 vaccine and the other either an age-appropriate influenza vaccine or the saline placebo injection. The second dose of COVID-19 given in the study will be the same as the one you received in the mass vaccination programme. At the second visit, you will receive a single vaccine, either an age-appropriate influenza vaccine or the saline placebo injection. Common side effects of all vaccines include redness, swelling, warmth, itching at the vaccination site. There can also be more general symptoms after vaccination that include fatigue, headaches, fever, muscle aches, joint aches, feeling generally unwell, or feeling sick, nauseated, or having vomiting or diarrhea. Less common side effects include feeling dizzy, decreased appetite, abdominal pain, swollen lymph nodes, or excessive sweating and itching. These common side effects usually last for less than a week after vaccination, most commonly resolving within 24 to 48 hours. These symptoms can be reduced by taking paracetamol after the vaccination for 24 hours. With any vaccination, there is a small risk of severe allergic reaction. Severe allergic reactions are rare and happen less than 1 in a million times, but can be fatal. In case of this unlikely event, the medication needed to treat the reaction will be available at the study visits, and the research team are trained in anaphylaxis. You will be provided with a 24-hour contact number. If you experience any unexpected side effects or have any medical concerns, then you can contact the study doctor at any time. We also ask you to record any symptoms that you have in your electronic diary. We are aiming to recruit 504 volunteers across the Southwest who will be randomly allocated to receive influenza vaccine alongside their COVID-19 vaccine or 3 weeks later. Your participation will last for 6 weeks from your first visit, and you will be asked to attend the study centre for 3 visits. At each visit, we will take blood and ask you to provide us with saliva samples. If you are interested in taking part in the study, you must read the participant information leaflet and complete the pre-screening questionnaire online. Links to the website can be found on the ComFluCOV website. If you are eligible to take part, you'll be contacted by the research team at your nearest participating hospital and be invited in for a first study visit. The reasons why you may not be able to take part in the study are shown on the pre-screening questionnaire and will be on the screen now. This is the first in-person visit during which we will ask you to provide consent, check your medical history and take blood samples and ask you to provide saliva samples. We will ask all participants who have the potential to become pregnant to do a urine pregnancy test at the first visit, and we ask all participants to refrain from donating blood for 7 days after each study vaccine. If there are no issues raised during the first visit, you will receive your COVID-19 vaccine in one arm and then either an influenza or saline vaccine in the other arm. After the visit, we will ask you to complete an electronic diary to keep track of your symptoms. You will be provided with a thermometer and a ruler that will help with keeping track of your symptoms. This will be your second study visit. At this visit, we will go through the information that you put in your electronic diary, confirm that you are able to continue in the study by asking you about changes to your health and checking your temperature. We will then take some blood, ask you to provide a saliva sample and perform the second study vaccine. You will receive either influenza or a saline injection, whichever you have not already received. After the visit, we will ask you to complete an electronic diary to keep track of any symptoms. At the final visit, we will review the information that you put in your electronic diary, discuss any changes in your health since your previous visit, and repeat the blood and saliva samples as shown. The first 2 immunisation visits for the study are expected to take up to 1.5 hours, and the last visit will take approximately half an hour. The total amount of blood taken at each visit will be about 10 ml, which is 2 teaspoons. Once you have completed your 3rd visit, your participation in the study will end. When all participants have completed the study, we will analyse the study data and report the results. We can also let you know whether you received the influenza vaccine or the saline injection at your 1st or 2nd visit. If you develop symptoms that will be consistent with COVID-19 infection, then you must arrange a test through the NHS track and trace as soon as possible. If this test is positive, you would need to follow the usual government guidance. We would ask you to contact your local study team to let them know if you test positive. If you are unwell and unable to contact the study team directly, then please call NHS 111, or if you are severely unwell, then please call 999. We will provide you with a card that has the study information on it. We also ask you to contact us as soon as you can to let us know about your medical problem. There are some important points that you should be aware of before deciding to take part in the study. Having the COVID-19 vaccine as part of the study will complete your COVID-19 vaccination, and your NHS card and records will be updated. Both COVID-19 and influenza vaccines can cause similar side effects, but we do not know whether the side effects will be more severe or more frequent when both the vaccines are given at the same time. Both COVID-19 vaccines and influenza vaccines can cause fever. If you were to develop a fever in the first 48 hours after the vaccine, then you would not need to self-isolate if you did not have any other symptoms of COVID-19 infection. If the fever continues after 48 hours or you develop any other symptoms, then you should arrange for an NHS track and trace test through the routine channels. We would also ask that you record any fever that you have in your electronic diary. The participant information leaflet contains additional information about data protection and confidentiality. This includes the importance of us needing to contact your GP and look at your health records. This also explains what happens to your study samples after the study. The information leaflet also provides you with your rights and lets you know who to contact if you have any complaints or problems during the study. If you have any questions about any aspect of the study, it is important that you discuss your questions with one of the study team before you decide to take part in the study. Thank you again for your interest in the study.